Good morning. Today is March 9th, Thursday. We are in conference room 329. This is the Committee on Human Services. With me today I have the Honorable Chair John Mizuno, the Honorable Vice Speaker Representative Iligan, Honorable Delabalati, Honorable Jenna Takanuchi, and also, of course, the Honorable Representative Bert Kobayashi.
Senior member.
This morning we're going to be hearing two resolutions. For the sake of expediency, I'm going to do both of them at the same time. We'll be doing HCR 7 as well as HR 6. Going through our testifier list, up first we have the Director of the Department of Human Services, Director Kathy Betts. She submitted written comments. She's not here on Zoom, correct? Okay. Moving on, we have the Midwives Alliance of Hawaii in support. They're not here either. Don Kurisu submitted testimony in support. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Aloha. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Vice Chair and members of the committee. I'm Don Kurisu on behalf of HMSA. We just want to first thank the Women's Caucus for introducing this resolution, and we want to just continue to ask this committee to support expanding access for our mothers, particularly around the areas of lactation services. We've been working with community partners as well as in-house, continuing to provide these services, but we believe that expanding access would greatly help all of the mothers here in Hawaii. So thank you so much for the opportunity to testify and available for any questions.
Thank you. Moving on, we have Jennifer Raposa, an individual in support, submitted testimony. We also have Leah Minton, an individual in support on Zoom. Is she here? No. Moving on, we have Christine Miguel, an individual in support. And we had a late testifier, Patricia Billick, I hope I pronounced that correctly, testifying in support. Additionally, we have Eugene Curry from the Healthy Children Project submitted written comments. Is he on Zoom?
I am here.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to testify. My name is Gene Curry. I'm the General Counsel to the Healthy Children Project and the Academy of Lactation Policy and Planning. Normally, this testimony would be submitted by Ellie McGregor, who is the director of the Academy, but she is at a World Health Organization conference in Germany this week and not available. Healthy Children is a women-led nonprofit whose mission is to increase healthy outcomes for mothers and babies. It does so through education, collaboration, and through the operation of a certification program for certified lactation counselors, who are also known as CLCs. The CLC certification program identifies qualified lactation providers. It's accredited by the prestigious American National Standards Institute. CLCs play an important role in providing care and services to mothers and babies in Hawaii. There are 161 CLCs in Hawaii as compared to 99 international board certified lactation consultants. As is recognized by the resolutions, there's a consensus that there are significant benefits to be derived from healthy breastfeeding. There's an additional consensus that breastfeeding rates are too low, and there's a further recognition that lactation support from qualified lactation care providers can assist in increasing rates of healthy breastfeeding. By requesting that the Hawaii MedQuest Division expand Medicaid coverage for providers of lactation care, the resolutions are likely to increase healthy breastfeeding in Hawaii, and we support that. But we also believe that the resolutions could increase their impact by adding CLCs to the group of providers who would be eligible for Medicaid reimbursement. Expanding coverage to include CLCs would be consistent with the model policy for breastfeeding support and counseling services that was developed by the United States Breastfeeding Committee in response to the Affordable Care Act. When the Affordable Care Act was introduced, we found that providers were saying that they didn't understand who should be eligible for reimbursement. And the USBC, which is a nonprofit organization composed of government agencies and nonprofits, including both Healthy Children and the organization that certifies IBCLCs, came up with a definition of a qualified lactation care provider. And essentially, it's an individual who possesses certification from a program that's accredited by a nationally recognized accreditation program. Both the CLC program and the IBCLC programs are accredited by nationally recognized accreditation organizations. And therefore, under the model policy, both IBCLCs and CLCs would be eligible for reimbursement. IBCLCs and CLCs have similar scopes of practice. They provide similar work. They provide valuable services, and we think they all should be included in reimbursement. The expanding coverage would also be consistent with legislation adopted in New Mexico, which adopted a voluntary licensure scheme based upon the model policy definitions, and in New York, which developed a certification scheme for reimbursement based upon these definitions. And I noticed in the comments submitted by the division, it appears that they're saying that licensure may be required. If that's the case, I would offer the New Mexico licensure plan as a model. In New Mexico, they went with licensure because in New Mexico, 81% of the live births are funded by Medicaid. And in New Mexico, only licensed providers are eligible for Medicaid reimbursement. So, and I've cited that legislation in my testimony, and I would suggest that that might be a good model to use going forward.
Excuse me, Mr. Curry, could you please summarize your testimony?
I was basically getting to my conclusion. So we support the idea of expanding coverage. We're available to assist in the deliberations and would be happy to do so. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate your consideration.
Thank you so very much. Next up to testify, we have Jennifer Raposa, an individual in support, not present. Is there anyone else present that would like to testify on either HCR 7 or HR 6? If so, please come to the podium. Seeing none, I suppose we'll move right on to decision making.
Do we have any questions from the
Oh, yes, thank you for that. Are there any questions from the members for the testifiers? No? Okay, Mr. Chair, please, for the vote.
Oh, yes, voting on members for, to be efficient, we're going to be taking the vote with Madam Chair's approval. Recommendation, I'm sorry,
So
Chair?
my recommendation would be to include the DCCA in collaboration because they're the ones that handle licensing and credentials. And also I would like to amend the resolutions to include the certified lactation consultants as well.
Good amendments. Okay, so Madam Chair, Amato recommends that we pass HCR 7 and HR 6 with amendments. Because this is an HR, it just has to pass the House for the public. And because, and the HCR, it's identical except we have wording that says it has to pass both the Senate and the House. Notwithstanding those minor changes, these bills are almost identical. With that said, Madam Chair, recommendation is to pass with amendments. Questions, concerns? If not, let's take the vote. Chair and Vice Chair vote aye. Representative Bellotti.
Aye.
Representative Iligan.
Aye.
Representative Kobayashi. Aye. Representative Takeno Uchi.
Aye.
Representative Nishimoto is excused. Representative Garcia.
Aye.
Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you so very much. This meeting is